Picture this, a group of Norwegian Vikings, bearded, armed with axes, and hungry for adventure, sailing across the North Atlantic into the unknown, and arriving in America. But wait a second. What if they had gotten there centuries before Christopher Columbus? What would the world look like today? Get ready for a time travel journey full of what-ifs, axes, codfish, and snow. Let's start with the obvious. Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, did reach America around the year 1000. Yes, that's a fact. He called the land Vinland, but now imagine that instead of a quick visit, the Norwegians decided to settle for real. No turning back home because of the cold or Scandinavians missing their herring. No, we're talking about Viking City, the first Norwegian neighborhood in the Americas. First consequence. History as we know it would be flipped upside down. No Columbus. Number Spain ruling the game. Goodbye caravels. Hello drakkers. North America would have grown with Scandinavian roots. The official language, probably a crazy blend of Old Norse and the indigenous dialects. Something like, hey, compass, did you see the else this morning? Else equals moose, of course. Now imagine the culture clash. Instead of meeting gold-hungry Spaniards, native peoples would encounter Norwegians who just want to build wooden houses, eat dried fish, and write sagas. It could have been a very different relationship, maybe even a lasting alliance. The big American cities would have different names. Instead of New York, maybe NY Bergen. Instead of Los Angeles, something like Gudrunfjell. Architecture, wooden cathedrals, grass roofs, and dragon carvings everywhere. And don't forget public saunas and log-lifting championships instead of football. Politics, probably a bit more peaceful. Despite their warrior fame, Norwegians have always been big on consensus. Instead of independence wars, we'd have public assemblies. With lots of mead and technology. The cold would have pushed settlers to develop heaters way ahead of time. Maybe even geothermal-powered cell phones. And what if the Vikings had become so successful in America that instead of Europe colonizing the New World, it was the other way around? Picture it. Norwegian-American ships anchoring on the shores of England saying, "Hello, friends, we're here to teach you how to build the underground tunnel so you don't freeze." Today, pop culture would be completely different. Instead of Hollywood, we'd have Nordlywood. Instead of caped superheroes, horned helmet warriors. Viking sagas replacing Marvel movies. Thor, he wouldn't even need a reboot. He'd already be the main character. And of course, climate would have had a huge impact. Norwegian settlers would likely have avoided tropical regions at first, so the southern U.S. and the Caribbean might have remained untouched for a while. The result? American culture with less tacos and more fermented fish. Quick meals, rye bread with herring, Viking fast food, ready in 12 days after being smoked on ice. But not everything would be rosy, or pine-scented. Viking expansion would still bring conflicts. New diseases might have spread, though maybe less devastating than those brought by the Spaniards. And sure, there would be land and resource disputes, but maybe just maybe the Nordic sense of community would have changed the tone of these interactions. So, what if Norway had colonized America before Columbus? We'd have an America with fewer bullfights and more bears on crests, A culture shaped by sagas, snow, salmon, and a deep respect for nature, maybe even a world a little more peaceful, a little colder, and ... definitely much more Viking. So, did you enjoy this wild time travel trip? Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. What other historical what if would you like to see here? Until next time, or as the Vikings would say, skål.